Hey James, okay, we're going to talk about thirds. So go ahead and grab your guitar if you don't have it already. When we are talking about thirds, we're talking about a type of interval. And in Western music, in 12-tone music, which is pretty much all of what we'll be doing, we talk about, excuse me, intervals. An interval is just a distance. So the shortest interval that we have in music is the semitone. It's also called a half step. So on a guitar, if you go from any given note up one fret, that's called a half step or a semitone. I'm going to forget the steps and I'm just going to talk about tones. So we're going to have semitones and whole tones. So here to here is a semitone, semitone, semitone. Open to first fret on any of the strings, semitone. A whole tone, 2 frets. From here to here. Those are all whole tones. So take a moment, go around, just play some semitones and whole tones. Say out loud, semitone. That's a semitone as you do it, just to reinforce it. Maybe go back and forth, play like a semitone, and then a whole tone, and up and down as you like. So take a moment and do that. And again, we're talking about different types of intervals, different types of distances. So the one we're going to focus on is the third. So semitones and whole tones are sort of like the smallest building blocks that we make scales out of, and these bigger intervals. So a third, an easy third to find is if you play a G major chord, and the lowest 2 notes, boom, boom, G, B, that distance is a major third. You can also see it this way. So that note B, 2nd fret of the 5th string, you can play here on the lowest string, on the 7th fret. That note is B, there's G, do, 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 fret 3, fret 7, that's a major third. And so a major third is, you can think of as being 2 whole tones. So from here to here, and then from here to here, do, 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 that's a major third. A minor third is a whole tone and a half tone. So here to here, and then here to here, do, 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 minor third, major third. As a shape, if we want to play those 2 notes at the same time, the lowest 2 notes of the G major chord, that shape is a major third. So you can get to know this shape. So take a moment, play those 2 notes, move it up a fret, from there to there, major third. You can go all up and down the lowest 2 strings. This shape is consistent all over the guitar. There's one exception. Each pair of strings, so let's say the 5th and 4th string, if you just take your middle finger and grab any note on the 5th string, then if you go up a string, down a fret, that's how you're going to find your major third. Same thing on the next 2 strings, the 4th and the 3rd strings. If you're here on the 4th and 3rd strings, 4th string 2nd fret, 3rd string 1st fret, if you were to go down to the 1st fret of the D string, then you would play the G string open. That's a major third there. So the exception is when we get to the G string and the B string, because that's tuned differently. Maybe you know that already, but from here to here, if we're going between all of the strings, it's tuned in fourths. So from here to here is a perfect fourth. From the fifth string to the fourth string is another perfect fourth. Here comes the bride. Do do. From the fourth to the third, that's a perfect fourth. Now when we go from the third to the second string, that's a major third. G, B, A, na, major third. I can't, it's that way because I can't give a good explanation for it right now. It has something to do with, like, you know, being able to do more chord shapes more easily. When you go to the second string and the first string, you're back to a perfect fourth. So what that means for that shape is that it's gonna look like this. Two fingers next to each other, separated by one fret, basically. The third fret and the second fret on the next string. You can take that up here, up here. When you get to the third and second strings, it's the same fret. So right now I'm playing the third string and the second string together at the same time. Play them open. Those are all major thirds. If we're going from the second string to the first string, we go back to this shape, this little, I think of it just as a little, like, diagonal line from here to here. So take a little minute and just you don't even have to think about, like, playing it in a musical way, but just, like, get to know that shape in your hand. Of course, we're not always using just these two fingers when we do it. When we play a C major, well, the first two notes, so we don't play the low E string. We start on the fifth string. Right there, there's a major third, do, do, do. The top of the chord too. There's another major third, 1, 2, 3, la. So when we play major chords and in some minor chords, they're all over the place. In a D major, the top two notes, we're using these two fingers in this chord shape. That's a major third. A minor third, so if this is a major third, a minor third is a slightly smaller distance. It's smaller by one semitone. So we're gonna go, this note is gonna go down a half step. Do, 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 do. So this is what that shape looks like. Minor third, major third, minor third, minor, minor, minor. On the G and the B strings, now the shape that we used for the major is going to be the minor. So here's the fifth fret of the G and B strings. You can also play like that. The same frets, fret 5, that's major. So minor is going to be fret 5 and fret 4. Minor, and then when we go back to this string, now we're back to this shape, since the tuning of these two strings is consistent with those other pairs, except for that one, the black sheep there. So, yeah, the takeaway from all of this is this shape is minor third, that shape is a major third. You can play it with any two fingers. Most commonly, you're using these two for a major third most of the time, and most of the time we're using these two fingers for a minor third. Okay, do let me know if you have any questions about that. I know it's a lot of information. I think hopefully you got that, but yeah, let me know. Okay, talk soon.